Today I wanted to talk about something that's very near and dear to me. Thump thump. It's the PlayStation Vita. Now, anybody who's real close to me will know that this is by far my favorite platform of all time. And it's kind of interesting because for me, the PlayStation Vita, we kind of had a on and off relationship, I guess you could say. I ended up getting one back in 2012 for my birthday. And I got two games with it, I remember. I got Hot Shots Golf World Invitation and Gravity Rush. And, I played them for like about a good month. I was really, really hooked to those games and even to just the Vita in general. And then after about a month, it was like, ooh, shiny, shiny. And I ended up getting distracted by something else. And I didn't really go back much to it. There were some times on and off in between then that I would, pick it up and, just to play something just for a few minutes and then quickly turn it off. But it wasn't until the beginning of last year, 2016, that I really started to develop a love for the Vita. I was in GameStop, and I happened to be passing by their Vita section, and I noticed, wow, this section is really, really small. So I just, got curious, and I checked out the different games that they had out on display, and I thought, wow, these are games that appeal to me personally. They had a lot of anime games, they had some fighting games, and these were all console-worthy titles too. And I thought, wow, how cool to be able just to take those on the road with you. Back then, I don't think there was really much of a way to get, unless maybe you had a tablet, but you didn't really have a way of getting those console experiences on the go. So, I bought a few games, and later I discovered the PlayStation Vita TV, which for some reason Sony made the weird decision of just calling it the PlayStation TV here in North America. A lot of people didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what it was. And later I found out that it was a little miniaturized console version with Vita guts in it, and it played PlayStation Vita games on your big screen. So I thought to myself, wow, this is really cool. Not only do I have the option of playing my Vita games on the go, but now I have the option of playing them on my big screen TV at the same time. So something like that was a big deal for me. So I snatched it up right away. And I guess you could say the rest was history. I've really been addicted to the platform ever since. A lot of people don't even know that the Vita even exists anymore, or have forgotten that the Vita even exists. I have a funny story. One time I went into GameStop, and they came up to me and said, "Hey, may we help you, sir?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Do you guys have any PlayStation Vita games in stock?" And he told me, "Oh, the PlayStation Vita, well, they're not making games for that anymore, and you could, the games that are coming out are only coming out in Japan, and they're more like tentacle porn Japanese games." Yeah, I'm not even going to comment further on that. Even though the Vita has tanked here, it has a very, very big following in Japan. Maybe big is too strong of a word, but it's doing well. It's doing well to stay afloat. The Japanese gamers, they love their handhelds. So it's doing good over there, but here Sony gave up on it before the race even started, and a lot of you don't even see Vita commercials. How often do you guys even see Vita commercials on TV? I don't even recall ever seeing one. Whenever I think of the Vita, immediately the first word I think of is limited availability. And I'll explain why that is. Back in its heyday when it was first released, here in Japan, well, mostly I would say in North America, you could find Vita games. They were pretty plentiful. But these days, you're hard-pressed to find that many Vita games. If you go to the section at GameStop, it's very, very small. Places like Walmart have them on clearance, if they have any at all. Places like Target and I think even Best Buy aren't even supporting the platform. You can't even buy them from there anymore. So it's really gotten hard to find these games, let alone, build like any kind of reasonable collection. You probably would have to be looking more online. The Vita, over time, has slowly but surely developed a cult following. And that cult following is really what's been keeping the platform alive. It's kind of funny. There are times when I forget the Vita was even made by Sony because of the passionate fan base that the Vita has acquired. And I'm sure that if you're familiar with the Vita, you're familiar with certain names like Limited Run Games, PlayAsia, Fangamer even to an extent. These are companies that have all been supporting pretty consistently, especially Limited Run. Limited Run releases games, and let's say, gosh, at least every month. But again, their name is limited run, so it's released in very small quantities. Same thing with PlayAsia. And so comes the point of this video. How long will the PlayStation Vita be around? I think it's still got some good life in it, to be honest. I'm guessing that it's going to go well into 2018 at least, because there's so many games being released for the Vita that the mainstream aren't talking about. And I'm going to bring up a list here of, these are just some of the games that are coming out in 2018. Alright, so here we go. We got Techon Project, which is actually a PlayAsia exclusive, believe it or not. Hotline Miami. We have Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Persona 5 Dancing Star Night and Persona 5 Dancing Moonlight. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which, I can't wait to play that game. The Longest 5 Minutes. Project Phoenix. Penny Punching Princess, and the list goes on. So, and that's just 2018. And that's not even including what limited run will probably have in store for it. There you have it. I have a feeling that it's going to be around still for a lot longer than you would expect. Now, the only thing I do want to kind of comment on, and I have no official citation for this. I wasn't able to find any info on the net. This is, I guess, just more of a rumor going around. But I've been hearing that the PlayStation Vita carts are slowly starting to dwindle, and that the stock's getting low. And normally this wouldn't be a problem because you'd think, oh, well, Sony could just easily make more of them. And while that's true, they've pretty much given up on the platform here in the US. And, in Japan it's doing well, but is it doing well enough to where they're going to want to, fund more Vita carts? I think they probably would. I would say the worst case scenario would be is that we just wouldn't be getting any more games here in the US. But hey, the platform's region free. That's always an option. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like the PlayStation Vita? Could you care less about the PlayStation Vita? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, anime gamers, we must forge our own path. Anything is possible. Thanks for watching.